Now we go into our fourth race out of 6 for junior Rotax. So here we go. It's going to be, well, it's our third one of seniors, actually. So here is your starting grid. On pole position, it is going to be Kai Rilets. It will be Divian Host alongside on the, well, hang on a second. I've just got everything all mixed up a little bit here. So we have got Paul Forquemin and Kai Rilets on the front row, according to this, but it should be Kai Rilets, Divian Host, Farin Mega, Paul Forquemin. And this is for Heat 3, Groups A versus C. Sebastian Bach, Mathis Turlo, Matthew Higgins and Elia Papasen ran out the top 4 rows with Mark Kimber and Maxence Bouvier. That will complete the top 10. Jaden Teen, Daniel Housworth, Sombor Kovac, Kai Hunter, Sverre Ubben, James Swindells, Matteo Pianezzola, William Christensen, Hugo Brun, Patrick Donica, Alexander Savinkov, Ilias Galiakmanis, Danny Shields, Pat Gubbles and Paul Simard. So once again, we will be going into battle for a 10-minute plus an additional lap race. So far, we've had Kai Rilets and Jules Roussel each picking up a victory. Could it be that we have Rilets again having another victory, or will Forquemin be the next driver to pick up a win? The drivers now will start to line up into formation. They will have to hurry up and get into the tram lines very, very shortly. The red lights are ignited for 10 minutes of racing. Into the tram lines we go. Revs rise. Are we ready? Are we steady? Lights are out first time. Good start by Rilets to lead the field into turns 1 and 2. Fine Mega now up into second. We got someone exit stage left at turn number 3. And that driver, oh, that's Kai Hunter. That's unusual for him. Now, he started a bit further back than is customary. He was on the outside of row number 7, so might have been forced wide. But he'll be able to catch everybody up in the meantime as the train makes its way through the infield part of the top right-hand corner of the circuit. Rilets is leading. Mega is second. Third, that will be more than likely Paul Forquemin, the eldest driver in the senior Rotax class, as we now go across the line to complete the opening lap. Rilets leads, Mega in second, Forquemin. Fourth, running at the top 3. Devian Hurst having a fight with Mathis Turlo, who's sent it up the inside, and they both nearly take each other out, and that allows Italy's Elia Papacena to get through. That was a bit too close for comfort. The pair nearly banged wheels through turn number 2 and turn number 3. And oh, that was a send from absolutely nowhere up the inside. That was through possibly on Maxence Bouvier by Mathis Turlo. Jaden Thien makes up a couple of positions in the meantime. With 8 minutes and 20 seconds still to go, you can be very, very much guaranteed. Well, that's one of the KR Sport drivers. That's the 396, Daniel Housworth, and someone sensed the cone flying to the outside. Well, they actually touched the grass, whacked the cone, and they went exit stage left. Rilets leads the way by 0.4 of a second. Forquemin in third. Papacena through the, thanks to the battling of Devian Horst and Mathis Turlo, round out the top 4. Hurst in 5th, Turlo 6th. And now an attempt, that's the 344 of Sverre Ubben up the inside of one of the KR Sport drivers. That might have been, well, that was the 929, Paul Simard, running with Dan Holland Racing in the 929 entry, running on the Lando Norris chassis. And still they're battling tooth and nail at the back end of the field. Danny Shields launches it over the curbs and is right behind Puck Gubbles in the 388 from the Netherlands. I spoke with Danny's dad, Barry, this morning, and I said, well, how much lead are you putting in the cart? 27 kilos in a senior, 10 in a junior. 7 minutes plus an additional lap still to go. So things might be dying down, but don't count your chickens before they hatch. Resurgence coming from Kai Hunter as he gets through on the 935. That is Hugo Brun from France through into turn number 4. There's Jaden Teen battling away with Maxence Bouvier. Matthew Higgins is just up ahead of them in 8th place. Mark Kimber now up into 7th position, having started down in 9th on the inside of row number 5. %40 of the race completed, 60 to go. And now Paul Forquemin has got the heat right under the collar, courtesy of Italy's Elia Papacena, being coached by the legend that is Mr. Bas Lammers. And now up the inside, there's Devian Horst up the inside of the Italian through turn 7. Mattis Turlo thinks he had an opportunity to get through, but the door was firmly slammed shut in his general direction by the Italian. Close to getting through into the final 5 minutes of this race. And Gilles is leading. Right, we've got some penalties coming through, folks. 378 gets a 5-second time penalty for pushing. That's William Christensen from Denmark, currently P11. Oh, and some time penalties, 3 seconds apiece, go to the 906, Maxence Bouvier, and the 388 of Puck Gubbles. For 2 wheels outside the tram lines. Papacena now has been passed once again. This time it is by Mattis Turlo and Mark Kimber. They are now 5th and 6th respectively. And just behind them, that is Matty Higgins. The 375 from Trafalgar in Wales, also running with Area Motorsport, if I believe, over in USF4. His dad, David, as here we go, up the inside. That was the move that Devian Ross was waiting for, and through he goes on Paul Forquemin. And that's a change for P3. Matthew Higgins' dad, David, who's spannering him this weekend. A multi-time American rally champion, also a karting champion in the United Kingdom, and also one particular season with Vermont Sports Car. David had the perfect season in the USA. I think if I remember correctly, David, you might have to correct me if I'm wrong. It was 2017 in the Subaru Impreza WRX. I remember because I still watch their series that is always on Subaru USA's YouTube channel at the moment. Great watching there. 3 minutes and 30 seconds still to go. And Matthew Higgins is now starting to make some moves forward. He's ahead of Elia Papacena. Jaden Teen. Well, he's ahead. He's getting ahead of other people, which includes Mattis Turlo. Now, Mattis Turlo is fighting. And that's with Maxence Bouvier. Bouvier up the inside. Turlo runs wide. That's going to allow Christensen to get through at turn 5 by a whisker. And then Turlo loses a further 2 places. Sebastian Bach and Zomborkovic get through on the Dutchman. At the very same corner, It was William Christensen that opened the door for the two behind to get through. So coming up to the final 2.5 minutes. And this just goes to show that if the leader's doing a pretty good job, you don't really talk about him that much. It's been plain sailing so far for the 374 of Kai Hillatz. He's nearly 1.5 seconds ahead of former teammate at JJ Racing, Fahin Mega. And still a line of carts going through the right-hand sweeper at turn number 6. This just goes to show how closely fought senior Rotax can be. So for those wondering, there is a duplicate on the timing. Don't worry about that because Paul Forquemin is still currently running. He's not running at the back of the order. He's running at the sharp end. He's currently P4 at the moment, 3.2 seconds off of our race leader, Kai Hillatz, who has a 1.5 second advantage as we head into the last 90 seconds plus an additional lap of this race. So it is Hillatz, Mega, Horst, Forquemin, Kimber, Papacena, Teen, Higgins, Bouvier, and William Christensen. Now, Bouvier has got a penalty. Christensen has also got a penalty. That is going to drop them out of the top 10. So effectively, de facto, 9th and 10th now on, well, literally speaking, not physically speaking, it is Sebastian Bach and Zsombor Kovács. Kai Hunter now up into 14th, which will go higher than that, probably about 12th place. We're heading into the final 50 seconds of the race itself. We'll have 2 more laps to go as Hillatz crosses the line. In the meantime, Devian Ross has been going after Farin Mega. And he's been setting fastest laps, and he's just put in another one. 55.121 seconds for the Bouvin power driver from the Netherlands. So could it be that maybe with just a lap to go, Farin Mega might find a significant amount of pressure for Devian Horst in the latter stages? In the meantime, Paul Forquemin is just lost out to Mark Kimber through turn 7. The 302 is through for 4th place. And not too far behind, there is Elia Papacena. The number 304 from Italy. Looking to get through on the most experienced driver on the field in terms of age. 1 more lap to go. Hillatz crosses the line. The gap has got to be 2 seconds by now. It is just a fraction over. Devian Horst is a 10.5 behind, not even that behind Farin Mega as they go through into turns 2 and 3 for the final time. Hillatz already making his way up the short chute between turn 4 and 5 as the 374 from Strawberry Racing makes his way through. Horst is, I think, teeing it up for a last push coming through out of the final right-hander and up the hill through the chicane. Or is he going to try something earlier? Because he's within a cart length of Farin Mega. Mega has got to defend like crazy right about now. Horst trying to use the wider carry of momentum through into corners. Out of the final right-hander, it is going to be Kai Hillatz that's going to make it 2 for 2 this weekend here on Heat Day. But who's going to pick up second? Hillatz takes the victory. Ross to the outside of Mega. It's going to be nip and tuck. It's next to nothing. 32 thousandths of a second in favour of Germany's Fahin Mega, with Devian Horst rounding out the top 3. Mark Kimber 4th, Paul Forquemin in 5th ahead of Elia Papacena. Great showing by the Italian, who at one point was running up in P3. Elia Papacena rounds out the top 6 ahead of Jaden Teen, Matthew Higgins, Maxence Bouvier and William Christensen, who both will be penalised post-race for what's just happened. So that will promote the likes of Sebastian Bach, Zsombor Kovács, also Kai Hunter, Patrick Donica, Matteo Pianizzolo, maybe even Sverre Ubben. So it looks like Bouvier and Christensen will be put down a peg or two. James Swindells, Daniel Halsworth, Ilias Kaliakmanis, Hugo Pun, Alexander Savinkov, Puck Gubbles, Danny Shields and Paul Simard made it all 25 drivers to the checkered flag. We do have another post-race penalty being shown. The 935 getting a post-race penalty for pushing as well. And that is Hugo Brun from France.